Cryptocurrencies making a comeback. So at this hour, look on your screen. These gains here have helped it retake the $1 trillion global market cap throne. Bitcoin was trading earlier today above 22,000 per coin. Right now, we're 21,581, still a gain of about 2.5%. And we saw that 22 handle for the first time since June 16th. But Ethereum gets most of the credit. Ether looking very strong right now, a gain of 17%, still not at 2,000, but it's at 1,460, a gain of $213. It's adding more than 20 billion to the crypto market in just the past 24 hours. Investors piling into the second biggest digital currency ahead of its upcoming merge. Okay, this note I didn't say merger. Its merge will take it from an energy-intensive proof-of-work mechanism to an environmentally friendly proof-of-stake mechanism on its blockchain. All right, if that's too confusing for you, here in a Fox Business exclusive, we bring in Pomp Investments' Anthony Pompliano on why investors see this transition as a bullish sign to pile in. But Anthony, first, let's do a dive, if we could, into what's floating the entire crypto market rally right now. And when I say entire market, I mean, you could look at the ecosystem stocks. Marathon Digital, this double-digit percentage jump in this stock at the moment. Riot Blockchain is looking great. Coinbase. What's sort of underneath this, pumping it up?
Yeah, I think there's two main things happening here. So first is obviously the Federal Reserve's been in control for the last 8 months. They continue to tank asset prices and their effort to get inflation down. And what you saw was that Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies were the riskiest assets in much of Wall Street's portfolio. And so what they're going to go risk off, they sell those assets. At the same time that they've been doing that, though, the average investor globally, hundreds of millions of people that are into Bitcoin cryptocurrencies continue to buy these assets. And now what you're seeing is this psychological pivot where people are realizing this stuff is not going to zero. It is not going away. Take Bitcoin, the largest crypto asset in the world. It actually is the signal among the noise. When you have undisciplined monetary and fiscal policy, that programmatic monetary policy stands out. And I think what you're seeing now is people say, as Michael Saylor said, if it's not going to zero, it's going to 1 million. And I think that you're going to see more and more people realize this stuff is not going to go away. And that psychological pivot will take hold.
Well, let's get to Ether specifically, and props to CoinDesk because they really explain it very well. And in essence, they're saying that for the first time in 6 months, we're suddenly seeing it flip from bearish to bullish here when it comes to Ether's options. September 19th, though, is this date of completion for its so-called merge, where it's going to flip from using a very energy-intensive mechanism on its blockchain to more of an energy-sipping mechanism. Why is that so incredibly bullish for Ether at the moment? If I were to triangulate, I would think that maybe people look at this and say, oh, regulators are worried about how energy intensive Bitcoin mining is, so maybe this makes Ether more attractive.
Yeah, let's first just take on the energy conversation. If the regulators are worried about energy consumption, they probably should go look at other things. Bitcoin as an industry, 60% of the energy consumption comes from renewable energy. The American economy is 20% or less. So if anything, the state of energy consumption by Bitcoin should be put up on a pillar. And we should say to every single other industry, you should be more like Bitcoin. They have 60% energy consumption. Why are you not able to do the same thing? The second thing that I would point out is that energy consumption is not bad. As we are watching around the world, this pursuit of the nonsense ESG narrative has left countries like Germany at the kind of sword of Russia. And what we need is we actually need energy consumption. Energy consumption makes the value around the world.
But Pomp, can I just say, I got to disagree with you. If you're in Texas right now, energy consumption is a massive problem. And they just had regulators there asking, they didn't require it, but they asked Bitcoin miners to cease for a couple of hours on a couple of days because we are seeing triple-digit record temperatures in the Lone Star State. And because these Bitcoin miners thankfully did cease and desist for the moment, it turned out that that added 1,000 megawatts of energy back into the Texas power grid.
Yeah, this is a great point, Liz. So it's not so much that they demanded it. The Bitcoin miners, this is their entire pitch. They're going to go around the United States of America, and Bitcoin mining is going to become a core component of grid stabilization. And what we saw in Texas was there's a surplus of energy at times. And so the Bitcoin miners soak that up. They're able to turn energy into monetary value. And it's incredibly profitable for them to do that. But when the grid needs that power, when the grid is being destabilized or needs help, those Bitcoin miners turn around and they send that energy back. And so it's not a question of are the Bitcoin miners good or bad. Actually, in fact, what the state of Texas has realized is that Bitcoin miners are a crucial component to stabilize energy grids. And there doesn't need to be all these blackouts and things like that. And so what I think you're going to see is that Texas is becoming an example. And around this country, we are going to have Bitcoin miners. They're going to beg them to come to their state to help stabilize those energy grids.
Okay, I'll wait to see that, because right now Texas is down for the count as they're looking at rolling blackouts.